Do you like aliens? No, not that. Not that. Not that. Not that. Not that. Yeah, that. That one. Scorn is a game that I still have no idea whether I enjoyed it, loved it, hated it, despised it. I don't know any of these things, so why not talk about it into a microphone and put it on the internet? I'm currently leaning more towards despised it though. Now, is this video game an adaptation of the actual Alien franchise? It sure looks like it, doesn't it? Well, there are no aliens in this game, at least not the type of alien from the movies or the one from Alien Isolation that haunts so many of our nightmares. However, the art style in Scorn is heavily inspired by the works of H.R. Giger, the mind that created the infamous Alien itself, and was the driving force of the art design in the Alien movies. The DNA of Giger's work is on full display in Scorn, and the art design is the driving force of the game. Because to be quite blunt with you, art design is at the forefront of what this game is, and I think most people will not find too much past that at all. The best way I can describe this game would be walking through Intestines Simulator.
That is disgusting!
Yes, it is disgusting, and what's even more disgusting is bad combat, but I'll get to that. Atmosphere is something that is not lacking here, and I have to give it to the game in that regard. There really is no other game like this, and I think that's why I forced myself to play through it, even though most of the time I was just creeped out, but it was my curiosity of what the hell I was looking at that kept me going.
What the fuck?
Every new location here feels like it is alive. Like literally alive. It felt like I was moving from the stomach to the kidneys of some giant alien organism and solving puzzles along the way just to keep the thing functioning. I think there's something to be said for a game that is so untraditional and strange in its setting that it keeps you playing because your curiosity has been piqued. This game tells you literally nothing when it starts. No objectives, no minimap, not even dialogue. It presents its unsettling world right in front of your face, and then you just go. You don't know whether to be weary of jump scares or enemies. You don't know if it's a horror game where you're gonna have to run from something spooky. If the interesting visuals are not enough for you, and by interesting visuals I mean extremely grotesque imagery, then this would probably turn you away as it did for me. I proceeded to walk around for about 45 minutes until I ran to YouTube to look at a Let's Play of this game. Oh, you gotta move the thing. But once I cheated and figured out how to get that first sad creature out of its shell... Oh! I was feeling confident, baby. I was solving puzzles left and right. What the fuck do I do? The game's puzzles, just like its atmosphere, are also so obscure. They can be immensely frustrating, but gave me that sense of satisfaction once I finally figured out how to complete one of them. Which again, a little bit of my knowledge may have come from the internet, but I digress. How was I supposed to figure that out? I'm not one for puzzles in the first place, but something about the messiness of the puzzles had me interested enough to enjoy them at least a little bit in this game. I mean, I have been watching... I have a YouTube video right in front of my face, and I still have just been turning these dials for 25 minutes. I just can't do it. I just can't do simple math. There are so many weird and bloodied contraptions, and the grisly animations are oddly satisfying. Everything is so untraditional here, and that plays into the overarching theme of the game. What do I mean by the theme of the game? The theme, for me at least, was this untraditionalness. It was the never-ending asking of the question, what? What? For example, my number one question while playing would have to be, what the fuck is the combat in this game? Here's the deal. I'm pretty used to talking about games on this channel that I significantly enjoy. Games that are just universally loved and really good. Games where I pretty much agree with all the choices that the developers have made. So let's change that real quick with this. This is the most abysmal combat that I have ever seen in a game ever, and I've played a lot of games. This is not an exaggeration. Red alert, this is not a drill. It is so bad that I would rather have had this game be an entire walking simulator with no enemies at all. The gameplay loop works like this, alright? Encounter an alien creature, walk up and poke it twice, sprint away because your weapon must recharge and you'll die if you stay near it because there is no dodge button. Then sprint back in again and poke it 2 more times, but then sprint away again because this specific enemy type takes 5 pokes exactly to kill and you've only got in 4 out of 5 pokes. Combine this sluggish, painful combat with extremely unforgiving checkpoints. There was one instance where I spent an hour dying repeatedly because there were 2 of these things at once, and since all I had at the time was this pokey penis looking gun, I had to get up close to 2 of these things and it was nearly impossible. You don't even get health back after you die, so I was essentially running headfirst over and over into these 2 enemies that shouldn't be very threatening, but I always had no health and had to get in close to poke them with the penis gun. It is just awful. But then you get weapons that can actually shoot from a distance, and it gets slightly better, I guess, but I'd still rather just never play this game again. But hey, that's the beauty of a game like this, am I right? It's one of those games where you either love it or hate it, and there is no in between. This has actually got to be the most divisive game I've ever seen in terms of reviews out there. The scores are all so wildly different. Now that I have taken the time to write out a script about this game, and have been recording this voiceover over the course of several days, I definitely have determined that I hate this. And that's okay. I respect this game for what it is and what it was going for. I like how nightmarish and ominous it feels.
Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare.
However, the combat is just so abysmal, and clearly my IQ is not high enough to figure out the majority of these puzzles without running to a guide on the internet. I wasn't able to connect with the story either because of how vague everything is and how short the game is. There's no dialogue either. There's no frequent character interactions or cutscenes or anything like that, so a lot of things here are just out there for interpretation. But I'm telling you, if you ever wanted a game where you walk around a lot and are confused the entire time, this is the way.
This is the way.
I swear the entire budget of this game went towards making everything look like a penis.